everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice waiting for you over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. We're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions, starting with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I've got 21 more days until Mariner of the Seas. My first cruise of 2024 is exactly 3 weeks away. I can't wait. And of course, we're here to answer your cruise questions here today. So please feel free to type your cruise questions in chat. We had some super chats before the broadcast began. Jim, thank you for your very first super chat in our stream. We'll be on Wonder this April and wanted to know what excursions you'd recommend for Roatan and Cozumel. We did Sancho's back in 2019, our last cruise, but we heard it can be crowded now. Thanks. Jim, thanks for the super chat. So I would recommend Paradise Beach. They are a sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, but I really like what they do. Went there a couple weeks ago, had a fabulous time. I've been going to Paradise Beach for years and years and years. Really like it a lot. For Roatan, through Royal Caribbean, you can book a Mayan Princess. It's a semi-all-inclusive beach resort. I'd recommend that. Chris Bergloff. Chris, thank you for your third super chat in our broadcast. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. 55 days till Wonder. Are the same drinks available at all bars? For example, we enjoy a nice frozen margarita, or am I only able to get a frozen drink at certain locations? Generally speaking, all bars, assuming they have a blender. That's with a frozen margarita, you need to have a blender. So as long as they have one, then yes, they can make it there. Some bars have specific menus for that bar, but they can make other drinks. The menus you find at any given bar are pretty much a starting point, not the end-all be-all of what they can make. Thank you, Chris. Jill F., thank you for the super chat. Jill, your very first super chat. My boyfriend says Happy Hanukkah. Well, Jill's boyfriend, thank you very much. 131 days we go on Symphony of the Seas. What hotels do you recommend for Port Everglades, Dania Beach? Thanks for all you do. Thank you very much, Jill. So for Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, I always stay at this hotel and I love it. It is the Fort Lauderdale. It's the Marriott Fort Lauderdale Airport. It's at Compass Way, I think is the address. I stay there every single time I go, and I love that hotel. It's great. It's brand new, great location. I love it. Ray and Nancy Cruisers, thank you for your third super chat in our broadcast. Thank you, Ray and Nancy. Appreciate you. I don't see a message from you, but I will keep an eye out for it. I see Mike Pastore in the house. Hello. I see Pascal, one of our moderators here. Welcome, Pascal. I see Christine Del Rossi in the house. T. Higgs is here. Welcome, guys. Josh Carruthers from MEI Travel is here. Jennifer Keln from MEI Travel is here as well. Don and Judy are here. We got all our friends, even Tony, hanging out with us. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you all here. Let's answer some more Royal Caribbean cruise questions. Indefinite, is August a bad month to cruise? No, there is not. Let me put it this way. Let me first say, there is not a bad month to cruise, meaning there's not a month that I would say, guys, don't book a cruise in this month. There are pros and cons to every single month, right? August, the pro, it's hot, so you don't have to worry about being cold, both water and ocean. 2, it's hurricane season, so that means that there's a potential for a tropical disturbance to impact a Caribbean cruise. 3, it tends to be a little bit cheaper, especially the second half of August, because school is getting back in session. But there's pros and cons to every month. So I think that's I think you're totally fine going on a cruise in August. I've taken many in that month. Jay Osteen. Jay, thank you for your very first super chat. First time cruisers going on Serenade 292 days. I'm a big guy, so how fluffy friendly is the ship, especially the pool deck chairs? I think they're pretty. I mean, obviously I can't relate, but I can tell you that in my experience, works out pretty well. Jessica Devoto, thank you for joining the club, Jessica. Appreciate you rejoining for 3 months. That is awesome. So I would say in general, Jay, I mean, I don't know you, but I feel like generally speaking, I think you'll probably find it more accommodating than not. You might find in certain bars, like a chair not being a great fit, like the pub usually has very narrow chairs, but I think otherwise you'll have a pretty good time there. So thank you, Jay, for your super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Jessica wrote in her resubscribe. Does Sabor take walk-ins for lunch on Harmony? Yes, absolutely. You won't even need a reservation for Sabor. It's not that busy. So, Tony Diaz, what's up, man? Tony, thanks for being here. Thank you for alerting all our friends to hit that like button. It really does help us out. If you hit the like button, basically it's free to hit the like button, and just tells YouTube you're enjoying the content. The more people that do it, the more people the video is shown to, which then means more people to make fun of Tony. So it's like it's full circle. It helps the world go round. Jen Green from MEI Travel Jen. I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello, Jen. It is good to see you. Welcome. Harry Captain, what a great name. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Beverage package is outrageous. What's going on? I usually buy, but the drink may be cheaper. So obviously it depends on buying by the drink, right? I see what you mean. Drink package prices are up there, right? And I've said this before. There's a couple things. Number one, you don't need a drink package. I mean, if you're only going to drink 2 to 4 drinks a day, you're better off buying by the drink. But the other thing to keep in mind is I use this example all the time. I say, what is a good price for the deluxe beverage package? People will say $60, right? I mean, people say $10, but let's be realistic. What is a good price for the drink package that you've seen in recent history? And you say, $60. Let's use that as a number. Great. And what is it going for now? $80. That's one drink and change, because a cocktail is about $14 plus tips and gratuity. So it's one extra drink a day to make it worthwhile. So you can kind of see the pros and cons there. I'm not saying you should get it or shouldn't get it. I'm saying that while, yes, the price has gone up, the math on breaking even is actually not as bad as it sounds, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Fred, any suggestions for my wife's cruise for our 80th birthday? Fred, how about this? I don't know when your wife's 80th birthday is, but I think you got to do Europe, dude. I'm wearing my Norway shirt. That's by coincidence. But take a cruise to Norway, my friend. That is an amazing, amazing place to visit. Fantastic. Next question is from Big Guy. Big Guy, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you here, Big Guy, but I'll keep an eye out for it. And Tamara, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Tamara, that is your first super chat in our chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity. Tim Moore, thank you for the super chat. We bought Izumi for lunch. Does my 8-year-old have to eat off child menu if he really wants to try a different sushi? Nope. He can order off the adult menu, no problem at all. Kim, the President's Cruise is from Barcelona next year. How far in advance do they post the dates? I'm looking for a 25 info. They only do it 1 year at a time. So I suspect, Kim, they'll announce it on the 2024 President's Cruise. Next question is from Cruise with Carol. Thank you for the super chat. Sailing on Symphony on Saturday, going to Aruba. Chris on Labadee. Have you been to Palm Beach and Aruba? If so, how was it? It's great. Palm Beach and Eagle Beach are the two places I always recommend. So it's a great beach. You have chosen wisely. Enjoy your cruise. Who is Tony? It's a really existential question. He's one of the local yokels that lives in our chat room. Very nice man, and he's here every week. Ray and Nancy again with a super chat. Thank you, Ray and Nancy. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Earl wants to know, why is Star of the Seas cabin so high? I think you mean why are the prices so expensive? And it's because of supply and demand, my friend. I mean, they charge those prices because someone is willing to pay for them. By somebody, I mean a lot of people. And if people weren't paying for it, they wouldn't be able to charge those prices. It's really just responding to the market demand. I mean, you have to guys remember, Icon of the Seas has sold so well, remarkably. I can't understate how hot the demand is for Icon of the Seas, and the cruise line in this situation is responding in kind. I'm not saying you should like it or be like, oh, that's okay, man, I'm okay. It is what it is. That's why they're doing it, because essentially they can, and because people are going to pay for it. Elizabeth, first timer on Liberty. We have 7 p.m. main dining. Don't want to miss a single show. Want to maximize our daytime hours. Will this work for later show times? Yes, actually. Wait a minute. Hold on. My time. The opposite. Sorry. So the problem with my time, especially 7 o'clock, is you're going to start dinner after the first show, but probably end during the second show. that might be the only issue that you face. I'm not saying that it's going to be a problem, but what you want to do, Elizabeth, here's what I would do actually, is go to royalcaribbeanblog.com, go to our Cruise Compass archive, and our main menu says Cruise Compass, just click on that, find a recent one from Liberty, and see what the show times are. That way you can determine exactly, figuring dinner will take about 90 minutes or so, and you'll be able to figure out if the schedule will work for you. Angie, one of our digital content creators, is here. Patty, Allie, and I are tuning in from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here. I suspect that The Bachelor is not on yet. So thank you for coming on here and saying hello. And I hope you're enjoying your Patty party. Would you recommend the Freedom class ships? Absolutely. I love them. They're great. AT4 Engineer. What is the best thing to do in St. Martin, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and Nevis going on an Oasis in 537 days? Say beach, beach, and beach. Go to the beach. St. Martin, Orient Beach, St. Thomas, Magens Bay, St. Kitts. I don't have a specific beach in St. Kitts, but it's a good one to do. If you want something different in St. Kitts, they have... I lost my mouse. Hold on. My KVM switch has died, if you know what that means. For no reason, by the way, might I add. But, all right, let me just fix it. It's connected. I don't think it is. Now it is. All right, we're good. NYC Lover for life. Do you get Crown Anchor points on a Casino Royale? Indeed, yes. I see Chantel in our chat. Hello, Chantel. It's good to see you here. Welcome. Next question is from Lindy. Thank you, Matt, for all the great info you provide. You do a great job helping us prepare for cruise. You're very welcome. Here to answer as many questions as I can. Michael C. What can I do to convince my friend to go on a cruise again? They loved their first Royal Caribbean cruise and was way better vacation than they expected. Wait, what? They loved it? Why do you have to convince them? Convince them to do it again. Like, it was that good. How about times 2? Double down on it. I'm not sure what you mean. I was expecting you to tell me that they didn't like it, but if they like that, there's more of that where there's more of that where something, I don't know what the saying goes, but there's more of that where it came from. That's the word right there. There you go. Luna, see you on the inaugural sailing. Guys, who's going on the Icon of the Seas inaugural cruise? The very first sailing, January 27th. Type me in chat, ME. I know Tony's not going because he doesn't like us. But for everybody else, I'd love to see who's going to be on that cruise. It's going to be amazing. I really, really cannot wait. Amy wants to know, 82 days to Symphony and 500 to Icon. If I get a WoW band on Symphony, can I use it on Icon? We don't know yet. We don't know if WoW bands will be on Icon of the Seas. So remains to be seen if they'll use it on there. Sean, let me get a drink of water. Sean, finished the 6-nighter on Odyssey. We missed lobster night on the second dress your best night since we were at a specialty restaurant. I thought it was only on 7-night cruiser or more. No, 6-nighters count. I think it's 6 or more. As long as you have a second formal night, that's the impetus for it, Sean. So, yep. Hey, Theory, welcome. Good to have you here. Mystery Shadow is here. Welcome, guys. Why is the Oasis of the Seas going transatlantic when it isn't being repositioned? I've been on the Enchantment of the Seas and mailing ships are being repositioned. There's a lot of reasons why things happen. Is she going in for dry dock? I don't remember the schedule off the top of my head, but that sounds like that's the likely scenario, especially this time of year. Crystal, for a 16-year-old, what documents are accessible? Is a photo ID required or is a birth certificate sufficient? I don't know what the minimum age is for photo ID, because obviously if you have like young kids, you have like an 8-year-old, right? There is no photo ID, just birth certificate. I want to say because they're a minor still, their birth certificate only might work, but I will defer to one of our travel agents in here who might be able to help us out because our good friends at MEI Travel definitely know that stuff. Big guy, if we tier up on the second day of our back-to-back sailing, can I get a new sail card and benefits? No, not on the second day. On the second cruise, yes. So here's how it works, big guy. If you're taking a back-to-back, 2 cruises in a row, and during cruise 1, you reach enough points to be able to move up to the next status, then what you want to do is talk to the loyalty ambassador on board, tell them what's going on, and they will hook you up for the second sailing. Omid, thank you for the super chat. Any go-to hotel suggestions for sailing out of Galveston and Port Canaveral, sailing on Harmony and Mariner, January, February? Thanks for everything. For Port Canaveral, home to Suites is what I recommend. Home, the number 2 Suites. I've stayed there a couple times now. It's great. As Josh can tell you, there's a very nice hotel lobby that you can drink beers in. For Galveston, I don't have a go-to yet. There's a lot of compelling options in Galveston, but I don't have like one specific hotel. Maybe our chat can help us out there. Jessica Devoto, thank you for the super chat. Does Johnny Rocket still do breakfast on Harmony? Yes, they do. Desmond, is the only Alaska cruise in Seattle? No, you can go to Alaska either from Seattle or Vancouver. Next question is from Jero. Going on Independence of the Seas, what would you recommend doing in Cozumel if we didn't book a paid excursion? Go downtown. It's a great downtown area. You can do some shopping, eating. Eating is the best part about going to downtown Cozumel. But I would just go downtown. It's really easy to do that. You take a taxi, you can walk, but I really recommend a taxi. It's a pretty long walk, especially in Cozumel heat. So, yeah. Let's see here. Next question is from Laura. Going on Symphony in May with my toddler. Any good quiet places for me to take him to hang out for a nap other than our room? Yeah, if you go to, well, it also depends if you want shade or not. That's the bigger issue. Because I was going to say, if you go to the upper pool deck, not the lower one, but the upper one, usually towards the back or the front of the ship, there's plenty of, like, no one's over there and there's lots of seats. So look for some nooks and crannies over there. Indoors, I'm trying to think. I feel like there should be one that I'm forgetting, but I'm struggling with where. Not the promenade. Central Park. I mean, the benches are very uncomfortable. I wouldn't recommend them. They're all made out of metal. So, yeah, I wish I could be more helpful on that one. Tom Stidman. Tom, thank you for your super chat. What would be a good European cruise? Never been to Europe and thinking about 2025 cruises. Well, Tom, we actually have a European group cruise already announced for 2025 on Independence of the Seas. I would say you want one that goes out of a major airport or an easy airport for you to get to. Barcelona, London, Southampton, London, Rome are the 3 easiest ones because I don't know where you live in the country, Tom, but I'm guessing there's a lot of flights to those places. So that'd be what I would recommend. And honestly, I mean, at the risk of sounding self-serving here, I would say that going on a cruise out of Southampton is actually really nice. There's a lot of different options, different itineraries. So I'd recommend one of those. And it's certainly bougie enough for Jen Green to go on a cruise out of Southampton. So I'm just saying. Tracy, first Royal Caribbean cruise coming up in 48 days on Oasis. What are the chances of being able to eat in Coastal Kitchen as Junior Suite guests? For dinner only. As to whether or not they'll let you in, it's a toss-up. You never know. But definitely worth asking about. I think more often than not, you'll be able to get in there. Mike Pastori says, I'm hosting a sail away party on Icon. Come see me and Tony Diaz. I look forward to that. Nick, how soon before your cruise do they assign guaranteed cabins on Anthem in February? There is no minimum threshold, Nick. It really is anyone's guess. There isn't a minimum time like, hey, by this point, they really couldn't give you a room the day of the sailing. By the way, with all these questions, I want to announce something. We're making a little bit of a change here on our channel. So as you guys know, on Wednesdays, we post our recap videos from this video, where we have a short recap of all the major questions from our lives on Mondays. That, beginning this week, is going to be an exclusive for our Royal Caribbean Blog Club members here on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you're a club member, you'll be able to get access to them, but it won't be publicly available anymore. Trying to give some return on investment, if you will, some value to our folks that are supporting us here on the channel. It's any level on as a member. I just wanted to announce that. We'll mention that in the next couple of weeks to remind everybody, but that is one of the nice exclusive benefits coming to the Royal Caribbean Blog Club. So I just wanted to mention that here. Carrie, on Freedom, red or black? Oh my goodness, the actor who played in Blade and Passenger 57, Wesley Snipes. As Wesley Snipes once said, always bet on black. There you go. Chadwick, thank you for the super chat. I wonder if we get to 300,000 subs on Royal Caribbean Blog, will Matt give the printer a seat? If not, maybe we just start a GoFundMe. Matt, you're the man. Thank you, Chadwick, for your super chat. I appreciate that. Your third one here. Thank you. But probably not. Probably not. Tamara is scared to death. The ship is so big. It's deceivingly large, both in person when you drive up and on a video. But trust me, I think most people will tell you, Tamara, that once you're on the cruise ship, no matter which ship it is, Icon, Oasis, Enchantment, it is far easier to manage and navigate than you might think. So keep that in mind. Teresa Harrison, thank you for the super chat. Took your advice to move to my forwardmost deck 12 cabin, now have midship deck 9, and was told my cruise price dropped and got a $312 price adjustment. We love hearing that. That is fantastic. Wendy, when are the new itineraries coming out for Wonder, and is she home porting from somewhere else? Probably. I mean, Wendy, basically, what we know at this point is that she's not cruising 7-nighters out of Florida. She could be based somewhere else, or maybe she's not doing 7-night cruises anymore. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But the new itineraries, Wendy, the next batch, don't come out until February. So you have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. Joe, do you think Royal Caribbean should turn the Vision class ships into boutique theme style ships to revitalize them? That's a good question. I would say this, Joe. I don't think, and I don't know this for a fact, my guess is I think Royal Caribbean doesn't want to invest any more money in those ships. And by invest, I mean revitalize them, revamp them, spend significant sums of money on 30-plus-year-old cruise ships. I think at some point, and this is pretty normal in the cruise industry, when you get to that age, they just give them the heave-ho to the next line. So it's an interesting idea, but I think that ultimately it's not what they'd like to see. I think in a perfect world, they would just sell it to another cruise line. So yeah. Sam I am, where is the best spot to chill out on Icon? We don't know yet. No one's ever been on Icon yet, so have no clue. Let's see here. Duval Dad, first time sailing on Royal Caribbean Thursday on Allure. Can I bring a carry-on and wear a book bag when boarding the ship? Absolutely, yes. That's actually a great idea. Yep, absolutely. Why doesn't Royal Caribbean go to South America or Africa aside from the Ultimate World Cruise? That's because of money. Basically, they can make more money sailing from other ports to other places. It's the same reason why, for a while, there weren't cruises out of LA. It's just a matter of what market, what port could they make the most money out of, if that makes sense. Mark, we got a lot of super chats I got to catch up on here. Mark Lou, thank you for the super chat. I'm enjoying my first time cruising on Oasis. Thank you for all the tips. They were very helpful with me planning out my vacation. You are very welcome. I'm so glad to hear you're enjoying your first time and on Oasis of the Seas. Love that. That is awesome. Gene, best free things to do at CocoCay going in January. Oasis Lagoon, South Beach, Chill Island, Snack Shack. Not necessarily in that order, but those are all great choices. Lauren Lisco. Lauren, good to see you here. Welcome back. Thank you for the super chat. Do you get a stipend with a 3-night dining package or only unlimited? I know what you're asking. You mean at a la carte restaurants like Azumi Sushi? Yes, you do. You still get it with a 3-nighter. How would you rank the 3 dining choices on Odyssey? Wish one of these was on the board. Top 3 dining choices on Odyssey: teppanyaki, Playmakers, Giovanni's. Not necessarily in that order, but those are the top 3 for sure. Make sure you eat at each of those. Those are well worth it. Man, Odyssey of the Seas, I'm going to say this, vastly underrated cruise ship. I know that everyone's like Wonder and Icon and Wonder and Icon. Guys, don't sleep on Odyssey. It is an amazing ship. Next question. Cam, how do I become a club member? I don't see it on the YouTube app. Correct, you're probably on an iPhone. Right below the video, Cam, there's a link in the description to join the club. You can join it over there. So thank you in advance, Cam. Next question. Hey, Pork Chop and Biscuit, thank you for the super chat. Traveling with another couple, we have linked our reservations. Will I be able to secure all 4 boarding times by just being linked, or do I need to sign in under the reservation? You should be able to do it by signing in. In fact, you could test it now, Pork Chop. When you go to the Royal Caribbean app and you go to My Sailings, you should see your sailing, and then immediately under it, the other folks that have linked the reservation, assuming that they linked back to you. But yes, you should see it over there. I see this all the time as an example when I cruise with my kids. Thank you for your generosity, Pork Chop. Decker, sorry, Ketola, thank you for the super chat. Going on Odyssey in February, what's your favorite thing about the ship? Any suggestions of what to do? First of all, the dining is fantastic. I mentioned my 3 favorite restaurants right there. Playmakers in general is a great place to hang out. I love Playmakers in the Seaplex. It's wonderful. The fact that there's 2 outdoor pools is lovely, in addition to the solarium. Really, really nice. And of course, the shows are wonderful. So yeah, love that. What's my favorite cruise memory from this year? Besides Celebrity Ascent with you and Allie, of course. Definitely going to Europe for the first time. I think that's got to be there. Going to the shipyard. That trip I took earlier this year, first time in Europe, was amazing. Miller time. Thank you for the super chat. On Anthem of the Seas right now, and the quality of food has been terrible. How does the food on Celebrity compare to Royal Caribbean? Better or the same? Food is very subjective, Miller time. So I'm sorry to hear that you're not enjoying the food. I would say, obviously mix it up. I mean, don't let them know what the issue is. Maybe they can fix it. Maybe you prefer food in another way. Maybe try a different venue altogether. But the food on Celebrity, here's what: if you're a foodie, if you're an adventurous eater, there is a lot more food selections that would be of interest to you. But if you're like, hey Matt, all I eat are burgers, chicken, pasta, and a steak, if you're going to order the same food on Celebrity, it's roughly the same difference, if you ask me. Let's see here. Next question. Tamara, how do you join the group sailings? You mentioned European cruise and independence. Yeah. So Tamara, first thing, ideally you book with MEI Travel. So all of our group cruises, Tamara, are listed at royalcaribbeanblog.com/events. And then you reach out to MEI Travel. I don't know why I'm out of focus right now. And then you book in the group and you're good to go. That's all you need to do. It's pretty simple right there. Next question is from Matt. I literally just saw a commercial for Icon on TV. I think it's a sign to book. You hear that, Tony Diaz? It's a sign to book. Greg Newton, thank you for the super chat. Can we bid on a Royal Up for one room? We have 2 rooms booked. One room has our 18 and 20-year-olds in it, and we are connected. Yeah, I mean, the reservations are, while they're connected, they're not. But here's the thing, Greg. If you obviously upgrade one room, the other room will not be, physically connected anymore. But you can definitely do a Royal Up on one cabin, even though you have another one, because remember, they are 2 separate reservations. Even though you booked them together, even though all that means nothing to Royal Caribbean. It's just you can still do that. So you're good to go. Next question. All right, so this is interesting. Davey says, I was looking at the deck plans on Star this season. They have an extra hot tub. Weird. I thought it'd be exactly the same as Icon, except for restaurants and art. We don't know yet. Honestly, Davey, number one, we don't know yet exactly what the differences are. So I wouldn't assume anything quite yet. But that's interesting you noticed that. That's news to me. Jacob, love the channel. My buddy fell. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Sorry about that, guys. Next question. Are drinks covered at Hideaway Beach like it is the CocoCay with the beverage package? Yeah. I would imagine your drink package works anywhere on the island, including Hideaway Beach. Jamie wants to know, how do you find out what the courtesy reservation is when you purchase a dining package? You have to wait till you get on board the ship. You won't know it until you get on board the ship. So there you go. Mr. Ron Bills Mafia Ladowski. Thank you, Ron, for the super chat. I must book a group cruise. What's a group cruise? I have no one to do tequila shots with. We got a couple of them coming up, Ron, in 2025. So make your plans now. Hey, Terry. Jumping in before you bounce. Any plans on jumping on Grandeur? Personally, no. But I'd like to go on there at some point. But I don't have any plans currently. Nothing's booked for me to go on Grandeur of the Seas. Obviously, we have a YouTube video tour of that. But yeah. Let's see here. Next question. Miranda's going on Wonder in February. What's the first thing you should do when you get on board? Go eat lunch. Seriously. Lunch. That's what I do every time. First thing I get on board. So yeah. Jamacy65, thank you for the super chat. Similar to Joe's question, do you think Royal Caribbean will ever build smaller ships again? They will build a smaller ship, relatively speaking. But it is not going to be a Vision class size ship. I think, my opinion, I don't know. I think it's going to be like 4,000 passengers, guys. So it is smaller in the sense that it's smaller than Oasis class, smaller than Icon class. I think that's smaller than Quantum class. But if you're expecting Radiance of the Seas or Vision of the Seas Part 2, I think you're going to be disappointed. I don't think they're building a ship that small again. I think they're going to be a relatively speaking smaller ship. So, but that is my opinion. I have no clue, no inside info at all. Just my thought on that. Jennifer Fuchs, thank you for the super chat. Hey Matt, price of a flight to Miami is better than Fort Lauderdale. How much of an issue is to get to Port Everglades from Miami Airport? Really easy. About half an hour without any traffic, Jennifer. There's actually a train you can take or just take a lift or something. It's really easy to do that. Hey, Mary Kate, first time cruiser. How do I make reservations? I'm not sure if you're talking about the cruise, like you want to book a cruise or something else. To book a cruise, obviously, my top choice is to book with a good travel agent like MEI Travel, where they're our sponsor here. If you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, fill out the big yellow form, MEI will contact you. But if you're saying I know what have you, then I would say what you want to do in that situation is go to the cruise planner on Royal Caribbean's website. Log into your account on RoyalCaribbean.com, find your reservation, and you can do everything through there. Here's the rest of Mary Kate's. Yeah, for the flow rider and ice skating, flow rider requires no reservations. You can't reserve it in advance unless you're doing a lesson. For ice skating, again, there's the shows you can reserve ahead of time. I don't know what ship you're on though. It depends if only on Oasis or Quantum class ships. Anyway, if they're available to book, it'll be on the cruise planner website. Let's see here. Next question. I thought he was going to say meeting Pascal finally. I have met Pascal. So I remember that. Believe it or not. Next question is from. Oh, you mean from my memories? Okay, now I understand. Never mind. That was like 10 minutes ago. Matt comment. Hey, Scary. Thank you for the super chat. Excursions on a nice place for dinner in Port Canaveral. We always go to what the ale house. I only know it because it's right next to a strip club called Cheaters, which I always laugh at as the name. It's like the Cocoa Beach Ale House, I think is the name of it. I'd recommend that place. Been there a couple different times. It always satisfies. Ricky T, thank you for the super chat. 165 days till Symphony. Will Blue Lagoon be with Blue Lagoon gone? What other options do you in Nassau? If you want something similar, Pearl Island is what I'd recommend. Pearl Island. Otherwise, resortforaday.com. Find a place to go over there and book that. Next question. Jason, what is the one activity and one special restaurant that shouldn't be missed out on Wonder of the Seas? One activity? Are we counting shows as an activity? Because it'd be a show. If we're not counting a show, hey, Cam, join the Royal Caribbean Blog Club. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate your generosity. Thank you, sir. Or I shouldn't assume, sir, but welcome, Cam. Thank you. This is a really good question. Like, what's the one? Zip line, water slides. Do the water slides. One specialty restaurant that shouldn't be missed out on. Giovanni's. It's fantastic. Really, really good. It's different than the old school Giovanni's. Okay, having problems clicking here. There we go. Tom, will Royal Caribbean ever build a bigger ship than Icon class? I'm sure. It's an inevitability, Tom. This is just the way of the world, I think, quite frankly. When does Royal Caribbean loyalty update after you disembark? No, about 7 to 14 days, somewhere close to probably about 10. Somewhere between about a week or two after your cruise, it'll update. DJ Jones, thank you for the super chat. Great Sage of the Seas. I want to book a suite on Icon, but compared to other suites I booked in the past, down payment is 10%, so the normal 500. When did this become a thing? They changed that earlier this year, I want to say. Suite deposit, 10%. It was in May, DJ Jones. May of this year, they made that change. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat. Theory, do you have any recommendations for places to eat in Fort Lauderdale near the cruise port? Um, yeah, La Bamba is a good Mexican restaurant. Like as in the band. I went there actually a couple weeks ago, and it was really nice. Ty, my fiance and I love the channel. Just found out that yesterday that Jazz on 4 is no longer on Symphony. Correct. It says non-smoking casino royale. Why the change and no notice update? We posted about it on royalcaribbeanblog.com, and so it's been out there. They changed it all over this summer. I think there's two reasons. One, they wanted extra space for the casino and non-smoking. That was one. Two, they still have jazz music. They're doing it in Central Park. So if you were to ask Royal Caribbean, they would tell you, well, Ty Walker and girlfriend, fiance, excuse me, we found that jazz music in the park really is the perfect venue for jazz music. So we thought, let's double down on that and give you guys jazz music in the park. In reality, there's truth to that, but also because they wanted to convert that space into a casino royale to make more monies. So I think that's part of it. Little column A, little column B right there. Michelle got your birthday present yesterday in 98 Days to Voyager. Happy birthday. Man, Michelle, now every birthday from now on is going to be a disappointment if you don't get a cruise on as a present. I'm just going to say that. Have I been on Spectrum of the Seas? I have not been on Spectrum. Lauren Lisco with her second super chat of the broadcast, booking Wonder next year for 5 of us, my husband and I, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and mother-in-law. Is the junior suite the best way to go, or will we all kill each other? You want to put all of you in one cabin? I don't care if it's the ultimate family suite. That's a terrible idea. No, why would you do that? That's a terrible idea. No, you will. I mean, listen. Maybe you all love each other and you all do hugs and sing "Kumbaya" and it's. I mean, Tony Diaz, back me up here, man. You want to get a cabin for you and your husband. Your sister-in-law gets a cabin. Your brother-in-law gets a cabin. Your mother-in-law gets another ship to go on. I think that's definitely the way to go. Tell you this, Lauren. Get separate rooms. Oh my. I mean, listen, maybe you all love each other and like you're all best friends. In that case, more power to you. But I would yikes. Yeah, the bathroom situation. Josh Carruthers mentioned the bathroom alone. You want to share one bathroom? No. Get separate rooms. I'm serious. I don't joke. I'm laughing. But I'm serious. Get multiple rooms. Kamesh, love your video reviews and blogs. Thank you. After Liberty, which ship should I book? Odyssey of the Seas. Odyssey of the Seas. Great choice right there. Yeah, the ale house next to Cheaters for dinner at Pork and Avril. Can't wait for you to explain to your wife. Yeah, no, this guy on YouTube says I should go to this restaurant that's right next to a strip club. It's a great idea. Yeah, listen, this is how I remember where it is. I'm not making it up. But when you go there, you're going to be like, oh, look, there's a strip club right there. And it's called Cheaters. Like, it's easy to find. But it's a great place. They have no affiliation with each other at all. Different parking lots. Just saying. Now you'll know where to find it. Pinky and the Bear, thank you for the super chat. 20 days till Anthem New Year's Eve cruise. Enjoy. Pinky and the Bear New Year's Eve cruises are an amazing party. Enjoy that. Captain Table MDR. Remember Jesters? Does any ship still have 2-story dance club? No, they got rid of all those. They were available on the Voyager and Freedom class ships, but they've all been removed at this point. D Baby, thank you for the super chat. For Alaska, should I book excursions when off ship? Yes, in a lot of cases, booking non-royal tours is going to be cheaper. And there's so many times. Alaska's a great example of this. If you go to Royal Caribbean's website and you find a Royal Caribbean shore excursion, and you copy and paste the name of that tour and Google it, you will find a third-party company that offers them. And it may save you a little bit of money. It's so easy to do this in Alaska. I would definitely recommend booking on your own if it's going to save you some money. The only reason to book through Royal Caribbean in Alaska is if you're taking a very long tour that has a chance of maybe being late. Like you're in port from 9 to 5 and the tour gets back at 4. All right, maybe I book with Royal on that one. But otherwise, you don't need to book. Debbie, Vodopevich, have I said that your name right? Debbie, thank you for the super chat. 6 days till Anthem. No question. Just want to say thank you. Found your blog, booked cruise, and now feel prepared. Very nice. Me likey. That is awesome. Fantastic. Scary, how big a ship can be before it's too big for the piers of this question? Well, the piers just get bigger. When Oasis of the Seas came out in 2009, there were only like 3 ports that could handle it. But since then, a lot of others have expanded. So the market responds, I think, quite frankly. So not all of them will, but many of them do. Let's see here. Sam I am, thank you very much for your very kind comment, I should say. And Dead Meat, thank you for reminding me. They do jazz and music hall and dazzles as well. So very good point. They don't need a dedicated venue for that. And that's the truth. I mean, really, truly. Elizabeth, is there truly any deal advantage of booking your next cruise while on board your current cruise? Yes. But there's a caveat. You will get extra onboard credit and reduced deposit. Elizabeth, the reason to book a cruise on board, the advantage, is when you're sitting on board the ship and you're saying, man, this icon of the seas is amazing. I can't believe Tony Diaz is here. We should book another cruise. In that scenario, when you're already on board and you're struck with the idea to book a cruise, then you go and book the sailing. And that is advantageous. The problem is you don't want to do this, Elizabeth, when you're at home or anywhere else not on a ship and you wait to book it, because the problem is the price could go up, thus negating those benefits that you're getting there. So I hope that makes sense. So I would say never wait to book it on board the ship. Dave E, thank you for the super chat. 68 Days to Harmony. Thanks for all you do. You are very welcome. Thank you for your generosity, my friend. Why do you think Crown's Edge is so expensive? I think because somebody's going to pay for it. I mean, I understand why they wanted to charge for it, because otherwise, if it's free, the lines become just unbearable and it'll be super busy. But the fact they're charging so much, that was a surprise to me. I thought it would be like, $20 or something like that. But it is certainly very pricey. I'm surprised by that. I'm actually happy. You know why I'm happy? Because now I have a reason not to book it, because I never wanted to do it in the first place. I do not enjoy those kind of experiences. I'm not a scary experience kind of guy. Dave Stanton, I booked the 3-night specialty. I booked 3 nights specialty on an adventure. When booking, they ask for a second night. What does it mean? It's just a placeholder. Just a placeholder, Dave. So you can ignore it. Also, what is the dress code? Depends on the restaurant you're going to, but usually it's just like, resort casual, collared shirt for guys and pants. You're pretty much good to go right there. Chrome KM, thank you for joining the club, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you. Jameson65, thank you for the super chat. Do you have any plans to ever travel to Australia and New Zealand? No, but Jenna, our YouTube video editor, was just there, Jameson, last month, and we're going to have some content coming for you from that cruise. I'd love to go. I just don't want to fly that long. It's way too long for me. Have you ever done a repositioning cruise? What should I expect? You should expect a lot less kids, but also some interesting events and a lot of sea days. So it's a more relaxing cruise for sure. Skyfrog, thank you for the super chat. I have 146 days till Allure. Will Royal Caribbean offer discounts on specialty restaurants better than 15%? Maybe, but it doesn't matter, Skyfrog. What you want to do is book it now and lock in the price. If there is a better deal tomorrow, next month, whenever, you can always cancel and rebook. So book it now, lock in the price, and then be able to cancel and rebook if there is a better price later on. Veronica is checking in from the Aqua Theater, waiting for the show to start. Hey, everybody! Veronica is awesome! She's sitting next to you! Isaac, thank you for the super chat. Odyssey versus Oasis, still deciding. Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Odyssey's newer. Oasis has been refurbished, but if you've never, I would either if you've never done Oasis or Quantum Class and you've done the other one, then obviously book the other one. Actually, it's a really easy answer. I just thought of it. What was I thinking? The answer is book both. Book both of them. That's the solution. Matt Travis, thank you for the super chat. Icon is now booked for next December. Let's go. Love it. There was a guy, you just reminded me, Matt. I was on, I think it was Anthem of the Seas earlier this year. Yeah, it was Anthem. And I was playing craps. And there was a gentleman at like the poker table, I think. Another table in the casino. And this guy, I'm guessing he had a lot to drink, but he must have had a lot to drink many days of the cruise. He would yell so loud, "Let's go!" And it would drag the syllable on for a while, but it was so loud. So it became like the first like 4 times you heard it, you're like, what's going on? And then we're playing craps, and you hit a number, you hit a point, and then you know what happens? Let's go! That guy was living his best life, and I think winning some money along the way. What's the cheapest way to get Wi-Fi for the two of us? Book it before the cruise. It costs you more money on board the ship, no doubt about it. Mega Fluffy Bunny. My husband and I are going on Icon in April. Do you think the cruise companies will stay mostly the same as when they start sailing in January? Probably. They don't reinvent the wheel. They're not going to be like, hey, it's been 3 months. Let's redo the entire entertainment schedule. I would say most of it is going to probably hold up there. First Sergeant Richard, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Welcome back. As always, Matt, you're the best. Have a great night. My Connecticut brothers, 60 days to Ovation of the Seas down under. Dude, first of all, respect for Alf in your avatar right there. And second of all, thank you for your generosity. Third of all, most importantly, enjoy your cruise. Ovation of the Seas down in Australia. Amazing. What's the difference between Giovanni's and Jamie's? The menu, different menus, essentially. Next question. Angie, tell your sister not to message me during a live broadcast. Greg Newton, thank you for the super chat. Quick. I don't think that means what I think it means, but I think you're asking a question. Anyway, a follow up. Okay. Woo! Thank God I didn't go with that. Follow up to my row up with 2 rooms question. Technically, the 18 and 20-year-olds could only be in the other room if they were near us. Oh, that's a great question, Greg. I don't know if their system is sophisticated, like how sophisticated it is. That, my friend, might be a question for your travel agent. I know this is a very much an edge case scenario. TC, when will Phase 2 Caribbean Cruise come out? It already came out. That was Star of the Seas. I know what you're thinking. Well, what about Wonder of the Seas? What about some other ship? All it means it's coming in the spring, in fall, in February at the earliest, and it means that Wonder will not do 7-nighters out of Florida. Could mean that she's doing cruises from another port. Could mean she's doing a different length cruise. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But that was Phase 2 Caribbean was Star of the Seas. They were just using that as a placeholder. They didn't have to announce it earlier than that. Davey, if I book Empire Supper Club, should I tip the waiter or no? You're getting a great 5-star service. I think I should. Just answer my own question. There you go. Next question. We're running out of time here, guys. There's a couple more questions. Time for a couple more questions. What month is low season in booking a cruise? What month is the low season? Do you mean like what month has the least amount of bookings? I don't know that one exists. I mean, certainly in January through March or April is the high season of booking. That's wave season. It's an industry term. It basically means when you see the most amount of bookings coming out there. But they do pretty well the rest of the time. I think maybe what you're asking is what's the low season like to actually go on the cruise, not actually booking it, but like, what's the off season? Depends on the market, where you're sailing to. In the Caribbean, that'd be September, January, maybe October a little bit. In Alaska, it is May and early June and September. In Europe, it is May, June, September, October, November. So there you go. Sharon Dallin, I booked Icon of the Seas for September 25. Do you think prices will go down? Probably not. New ship, lots of demand. I mean, it could change. You never know. But I wouldn't expect it with a new ship. It's just so much demand right there. But that being said, Sharon Dallin, with Icons, we've seen some price drops here and there. So not unheard of, but I wouldn't bet on it. Certainly wouldn't expect one anyway. Next question is from Chrome KM. Thank you for the super chat. What excursions activities do you recommend at Roatan, Cozumel, and Costa Maya for first-time visitors? Costa Maya, Maya Chan. It's not booked through. You can't book through Royal Caribbean. Just Google it, Maya Chan. Tell them the Matt sent you. You'll have a great time. Cozumel, Paradise Beach again. Not booked through Royal Caribbean. You'll book it on your own. Roatan. This one you can book through Royal Caribbean. It's called Mayan Princess Resort. But Maya Chan, Paradise Beach, Mayan Princess in reverse order there. Let's see here. Daniel, book star of the season or inaugural. What are you most excited for? I'm most excited for things I don't even know I'm excited for. What I mean by that is that there are bound to be differences on star of the season. Not major differences, but maybe there'll be a new venue, maybe a new restaurant, maybe new activity. I'm excited for what I don't know yet because that's always what makes these new ships interesting and different. Tamara, thank you for the super chat. My next two cruises are on Celebrity Beyond and Equinox. Do you provide blog info on Royal Caribbean sister ships? Yeah, we actually have. Well, first of all, we have some content about it on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. But tomorrow, we also have a sister site, cruise.blog. That's the URL, cruise.blog. And we have information about those over there. For Celebrity Beyond, we do have some content from there because Allie and Angie went on it last year. So yeah, cruise.blog and you can Royal Caribbean blog, obviously, but primarily over on cruise.blog. Nicholas, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Oasis yesterday. Why does the Local Fresh have such limited hours? It was open less than 40 minutes the entire cruise. 40 hours. I'm like 40 minutes. Because I think Royal Caribbean, number one, they don't look at it as a dinner venue. They look at it as purely a lunch venue and a snack from noon to 5 or something like that. So I think that's how they look at it. Rather than opening it, all day or day through night. I wish it was open more hours. I love it, especially late night. That'd be a fantastic venue. But I think they look at it purely as a pool deck venue, and the pool deck is mostly busy in the afternoon. So I think that's their rationale. I don't agree with it, but I think that's their rationale for it. Kyle, my girlfriend and I sailed for the first time in March, and your videos have taught us so much. Been amazingly helpful to us. Thank you for all you do. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. Resort for a day. Thoughts? I use it all the time, Karen. I love them. I have no affiliation with them, but I use resortforaday.com all the time. It's great. You got to book your own transportation, but I love the places that you can go to over there. Next question. Booked Independence of the Seas from Southampton. Only ever done Oasis and Quantum class before. Think Independence will be as good? Yeah, because you're going out of Southampton for the first time. Your cruise is about the itinerary, not the ship. And I think you'll have a great time. Freedom class is wonderful. It's not like you're going on, Enchantment of the Seas or something like that, where you have a major shift in the experience. And there's the link. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. Let's see here. Next question. We have time for 3 more questions, guys. And if the one's about Tony Diaz, I'll sneak it in here. Bill, going on Navigator in December. When can you book entertainment? You can't. You cannot book entertainment for Navigator of the Seas because it's a Voyager class ship. You can only book entertainment for Oasis or Quantum class ships. Big Stew's Adventures. We have Harmony in Galveston until March 26th, and then her itinerary has her going to Barcelona. I wonder if we'll have a chance of getting Wonder in Galveston at that point. Anxious to learn more. I mean, it's anyone's guess. With deployments, it's literally a game of musical chairs. You've got to figure out where things are going to end up being. Laura, what's the best hotel for sailing out of Fort Lauderdale? Marriott, Fort Lauderdale Airport. Marriott, Fort Lauderdale Airport. It's brand new. I stay there all the time. Lucho, going on Icon in May. Extremely excited. What would you recommend to do for the best experience? See all the shows. Do as much as you can. That when it comes to a new ship, is you want to experience as much as possible. That's definitely the way to go. Patrick, I've never done a trans-Pacific cruise or transatlantic for that matter. I would love to do one. It has not been in the cards yet. Number one reason, my kids are still in school. And by virtue of that fact, my wife is not keen on me disappearing for 2 weeks at a time for me to go on a cruise by myself over to some place she really wants to go as well. So that seems like one we'll have to wait for until the kids get a little bit older. Do you think Star will have the same entertainment as Icon? No. I mean, not the same production shows? No. Almost certainly not, based on Royal Caribbean's history. I would say, obviously they'll still have Schooner Bar and a piano player there, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And last question of the day. What is our last question of the day? It's from Slew Dog. Slew Dog, it is so good to see you back. Booked Wi-Fi under my wife's name for 2 devices. Does that mean she and my son can both get Wi-Fi on their phones, or only one, or only she can use Wi-Fi on 2 devices for devices? Both her and your son can use the Wi-Fi at the same time. Basically, Slew Dog, you have to you get one login, but it'll allow 2 devices. So your wife logs in, device 1. You give that same login to your son, and he can log in, and you have 2 devices on at the same time. Now you could log out of one device and onto another device and keep 2 devices on at the same time. But no, you can definitely share the internet package benefits with others right there. So, all right, we have one more question coming in hot over here from Verify 950. Thank you for the super chat. Would you recommend a weekend cruise with small kids? I heard they can be rowdy with partiers. I would say absolutely. I would recommend it. I mean, there are more people looking for a good time, maybe on a not in that way, but people are enjoying their weekend cruise, and people enjoy their 7-night cruise. I think other lines may have more of a reputation for that, but I would have certainly no qualms about it. I brought my kids when they were that age on board. I would have no issues at all. So no, don't worry about that. That's totally fine. That's something honestly, it's a comment that usually you get from like an old person who doesn't want kids on their ships. And so they look for like the longest possible sailings to reduce that. Let me tell you something, man. You'll have a great time. Your kids will too. It's a fun sailing, and I would not recommend it. I mean, I definitely would not avoid it. I would recommend it, not avoid it. So there you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you, everybody, for being amazing. Before we go, I need to say thank you to our super chatters. Verify 950. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Chrome KM. Thank you for not only your super chat, but becoming a club member. Greg Newton, thank you. First Sergeant Richard, thank you. Matt Travis, thank you. Isaac, thank you. Skyfrog, thank you. Jamacy, thank you. Dave E, thank you. Debbie, thank you. D Baby, thank you. Pinky and the Bear, thank you. Cam, thank you for joining the club. Lauren Lisco, thank you. DJ Jones, thank you. Ricky T, thank you. Scary, thank you. Jennifer Fuchs, thank you. Jamesy, thank you again for the super chat. Ron Ladowski, thank you. Greg Newton, thank you. Miller Time, thank you. Decker, thank you. Pork Chop and Biscuit, thank you. Lauren Lisco, thank you again. Mark Lou, thank you. Teresa Harrison, thank you. Chadwick, thank you. Thomas Steinman, thank you. Jessica Devoto, thank you. Omid, thank you. Ray and Nancy, thank you. Cruising with Carol, thank you. Tim Moore, thank you. Tamara, thank you. Big Guy, thank you. Jessica Devoto, thank you for re-upping your membership. Harry Captain, thank you. Jay Osteen, thank you. Ray and Nancy, thank you. Jill F, thank you. Chris Bergeloff, thank you. Jim, thank you. And remember, guys, we're beginning this week. Our weekly roundups on Wednesdays will be only available to club members beginning this week. So we'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, like book a cruise, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.